Hey, how you doing, everybody? Today, I wanted to address functional labels when we are talking about autistic kids and why I don't use those. Never have, never really liked them, didn't really know why until more recently. But as I learn and grow and share this learning and growing journey with you, it's becoming more clear to me that those labels just do not work. They don't really tell us much, and they can be real stigmatizing. A couple of years ago in our community, I got an email, or there was, somebody put out, like, in a local Facebook group. I think she was either a parent or caregiver of an autistic child, and she put out a notice that said, trying to form a high-functioning autistic playgroup. My kid is, I think her kid was 6 or 7, the same age as mine. So I thought, like, this would be good. I want my kid to have friends that are similar or that would understand. And then it would be good to meet, families that are having similar experiences of life. But there was something that bothered me about that term, high functioning. And at the time, I guess this was about 4 or 5 years ago, about 4 years ago. Well, what's considered high functioning? And would my kid cut the mustard? Like in this person's eyes, or if there were other parents that came, would they think that? So there's already a lot of pressure to fit into some kind of expectation, which I really didn't know what that would be. So I went kind of through a checklist. Would he be able to, like, would you know that he's autistic? Does the term high functioning mean less autistic, closer to neurotypical? When we got there, that's what I thought about the whole time. Like, okay, and I was watching every behavior of his to see, like, is he fitting in? Does he seem more like her child? Are there any issues? And it was very difficult to enjoy and connect with her and enjoy the activity. And but I'll tell you what was really interesting was that, what do you think the two boys were doing? They were playing, interacting sometimes not, managing their needs with each other. Like, her child tended to seem like he didn't want that much touch. My kid is a hugger. And so, kind of watching from afar, they had to kind of communicate about that in their way. And they did. Over the last few years, I've really changed my thinking and my parenting. Like, treat them as if they are competent. Autistic kids are so individual. So, I'm going to see if I can find kind of a graphic to show that color wheel of the spectrum, which shows, for example, my son's needs are not, like, if we looked at the DSM, which, I think probably needs some updating pretty soon. It's 2013 was when it was updated. And, there's still some of those functional labels in there. It's not high or low, but now it's 1, 2, 3, and the thing is, again, it doesn't really tell you much about what types of supports the person may need. I think you really have to meet the individual where they're at, because the supports and the needs are different on any given day, like for all of us. So I think the functioning labels are just too vague. And it really doesn't tell us anything about that particular person. I don't want to make it out to sound like I'm so much better than anyone because I didn't ever use functional labels. To be honest with you, I think it was because I saw how people who were considered lower functioning were treated, and I was really afraid of that for my son, which, is hard to admit. But I guess that's the truth. The whole point of what I'm doing here is, with this channel and the way that I'm parenting these days, is to reduce the shame around our kids' needs and what's going on, and maybe to help other people who don't have knowledge or understanding about autism, maybe understand, like, where I'm coming from with this, rather than listening to, like, so-called, experts in the field, which some of them I don't mean to disrespect. I think there are a lot of people with a lot of knowledge, but things change, and we have to grow and we have to learn, and we do have to respect the people who have the lived experience and listen to them. and honor them and elevate them and embrace their message, especially when this really is about human rights, disability rights, autistic rights. I would love to hear your thoughts. I know this can be a touchy subject. I know in the autism community, there are a lot of opinions and thoughts, and I am not autistic, and I think that also has some could have some issues with it too, but I love my child with all of my heart, and I want to do right by him, and I want to give him the best chance in life. And sometimes that means taking on challenging subjects, going against the mainstream, kind of against the grain of popular thinking, and advocating. See you in the next video, and let's learn and grow together.